Today, we're talking Dopp Kits, who they're actually useful for, what features are worth considering, not to mention addressing a gigantic elephant in the room. So in this video, I'll share 3 Dopp Kits with very different form factors and price points to guide us through all the potential considerations that could make a huge impact on your travels. But you know what? Enough of this attempted retention hacking suspense. Let's actually start with that elephant in the room, which is air safety compliance. If you're American, you recognize it as 311, and for the rest of the world, you simply know it as no larger than 100 milliliters per liquid bottle, all sealed in a clear plastic bag, which means, technically and objectively for some, the best Dopp Kit might literally just be a thick Ziploc freezer bag or two, costing what? Less than $1 total? However, there are benefits to a dedicated Dopp Kit, so let's dive into the 3 different ones I've actually used in my real travels, beginning with this Herschel Chapter small Dopp Kit. I bought this back in 2010 or 2011, and it's what I used for the better part of 8 years. It's a quintessential traditional form factor in that anyone over a certain age will imagine this shape when they hear the words Dopp Kit. Tremendously bare bones with a large cavernous main compartment, featuring nothing more than an interior half-height mesh sleeve pocket against the back and a flatter exterior front zippered pocket. On the surface, this may seem like it's just too basic, and yet it's always important to note that more internal organization compartments does not necessarily mean better, especially when it comes to packing our toiletries. I mean, as a stereotypical man, I don't think I have that much in the way of toiletry needs, but you may have completely different requirements, which is sort of the point of this whole video. But to have a springboard of comparison, let's begin with my own travel toiletries loadout as our baseline. Regardless of the Dopp Kit, for starters, I'm totally comfortable using hotel shampoos, soaps, and body washes. I do, however, prefer packing my own face wash, and for those who care, I just use this unscented CeraVe stuff. And as I get older, I'm starting to recognize the importance of some lotion, so I also use this basic unscented stuff, also by CeraVe. Next, because of the sheer speed and quantity with which I sweat, I pack 2 additional things that most probably don't. Thing 1 is this mini-sized shower puff thingy from Muji to create a good scratchy lather to really get the sweat and grime off my skin, stored inside of this zipper leak-resistant pouch. I love these small puffs because of how compact they are, and when they go on sale when I randomly go to Muji, I stock up because on sale they're like $1 each. Thing 2 is this small container of Dr. Scholl's Odor X foot powder. I've mentioned it in so many previous videos, but you have no idea the quantity and speed at which I start sweating, which includes my feet. Basically, whether I'm here at home in Toronto or on the road, before I head out in the mornings, I head to the hotel bathroom, open a plastic bag, squeeze a bit of this foot powder into the bag, stomp around, then put my socks on. And miraculously, my feet stay dry all day, and much more importantly, my shoes and socks no longer stink. Ever. Last up for me is oral hygiene, and I need to pack my Orabrush tongue brush, cheap electric toothbrush, and a pack of floss, and that's it. By the way, I used to use a name brand electric toothbrush, but I've personally found that this $20 option off Amazon delivers equal perceived results, but is much more compact than that Oral-B one that I used to use. Anyways, as you can see, I think I need to pack a very average amount of stuff, where I may have a few extras for my sweat situation, but less in the way of body wash or shampoo since I use whatever my accommodations offers. With TSA restrictions of 100 milliliters or about 3 ounces, there are several options for transferred storage. 1, your local store already sells travel-sized products, but for me, I like packing my own. I used to use this kit, which I quite liked, but now use these cheap Muji containers because I like that they are see-through, but both work fantastic. And to add another elephant into the room, even this affordable $15 kit off Amazon is, in and of itself, TSA compliant with its cleared zippered bag that it ships with. So if you think this works for you, you can find it and everything else we've explored in this video down in the description below. But okay, with all my needs collected here, this Herschel was great because, as you can see, my only liquids, namely my face wash, lotion, and toothpaste, I just put into a Ziploc bag, and because there are no real sub-organization compartments, everything would slide in without struggling or forcing, and when I'd get to my accommodations, I could just empty everything onto the bathroom countertop, using the Dopp Kit as the storage solution for my TSA-compliant Ziploc bags before I have to pack up again, and I'm good to go for the duration of my trip. Which leads us onto the second form factor of toiletry kits, which is what I've been using since 2019, and don't see myself changing anytime soon. The Travel Kit version 2 by Air. Right off the bat, as you can see when compared to the Herschel, this one is physically taller but considerably slimmer, and the specific reason why it's become my go-to is because of that slimness and my primary one-bag travel backpack. If you've been with me for a bit, you already know that the packed travel backpack has and continues to be the one-bag travel solution for me on my long, multi-month trips. And with its clamshell design, each side is a little bit narrower than full, single, cavernous compartmented backpacks, like this one by Air that I brought to my most recent business trip. Because of this, finding a narrower Dopp kit was important to me, and as you may know, because I will be ping-ponging between Taipei, Jakarta, Tokyo, and Ho Chi Minh, with the occasional hop to Manila and Seoul for 6 months, this means I'm rarely at any one accommodation for very long, so this complete book-style opening, when combined with this integrated hook, has been travel hygiene heaven for me, with quick access and no real need to even unpack anything. Hang it up, and 2 nights later, unhook, zip and pack before cloud hopping to the next city. Taking a closer look at this piece, we can see that there are 2 zippered sleeve compartments on the front and the back. Then, zipping open, we've got what to me is an ideal blend of organization options. You see, there's this main cavernous compartment which, for my loadout, is perfect for standing everything up inside of Ziploc bags. But also, without getting in the way of the cavernous compartment, are these rear-anchored, elasticized anchoring loops, for those that would use them. Against the front of the bottom portion are these 2 elasticized loops where I keep my oral hygiene tools, the body of my electric toothbrush, and my all-time fave, this Orabrush silicone bristled tongue brush. Seriously, this thing is my literal favorite personal hygiene tool, and unlike plastic or metal tongue scrapers that could cause bleeding, these silicone bristles are just amazing. But moving right along, in the stretchy upper cavernous zipper compartment is where I store things like my nail clippers, razor, my Dr. Scholl's foot powder, floss, and other small stuff like the heads of my electric toothbrush. Most valuable to me beyond the slimmer profile though is again the hook tucked into this sleeve. Whether it's a towel rail or shower curtain rod, I just love being able to get to my accommodations, unzip, hook, and that's it. I'm good to go. But what about folks with tons of toiletries? Perhaps those with a non-insignificant amount of medication they need to take throughout their trip, or those who combine all of their makeup along with their toiletries. That's where something like this Metro toiletry case by Monos might just fit the bill, and as you can see, it is gigantic. And similarly to the other 2 kits, you can see immediately upon opening that it's really continuing on the whole kind of large, cavernous main compartment philosophy instead of tons of internal organization options. Looking at them from the top, you can see that it's essentially double the capacity of the Air travel kit that I now use, and in fact, when clamshelled open feels quite similar. However, the back half of the rear, which is an entirely separate and segregated compartment, is indeed perfect as a dedicated zone for, again, medications or makeup or anything else. On the back, we've got this large strap that's magnetically clipped, and when detached, we can see yet another magnetic disc higher up on the strap, so it too can be converted into a hanging hook, looping around a rail and anchoring confidently. When closed up, the front has what appears to be a zippered sleeve pocket. However, it's not a dedicated pocket, but rather a fast access opening to the inside of the interior clamshell storage space. The point is, although everything we've explored is linked down in the description below, the most valuable research is taking the time to understand your own unique capacity and travel habit needs to form the best possible buying decision for you. After all, that elephant in the room is true. No matter what, you will need to use sealable clear plastic bags, even if you decide to buy a dedicated Dopp kit. Which means again, for many, Ziploc freezer bags alone might ultimately be the best option as their Dopp kit. So in light of all of this, Dopp kits can be debatable about whether or not they are a worthy investment depending on the traveler. But to see my non-negotiable, absolute necessities I think apply to every traveler, you will definitely want to watch both of these videos over here. I'll leave them up on screen for a few seconds so you can choose which one to watch next, but while you're deciding, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so you'll be notified the moment new videos just like this one drop.